This tutorial shows how to configure your MDaemon email server to handle email processing records from the DNS database. To begin, choose the Setup menu from the top of the MDaemon administration screen. Select Primary Domain. This displays the primary domain dialog. Then select the DNS tab. The ANMX records options on this tab allow you to specify how MDaemon responds to the information it finds in the DNS records of other email servers. A brief overview of DNS may help you better understand these options. DNS works with domains. A domain is an identifier for a computer network connection to the Internet. For example, altn.com identifies the Internet network connection for Altn Technologies. Within a domain, a subdomain name identifies a specific machine or virtual machine. In the Altn domain, the subdomain www.altn.com identifies Altn's web server. ftp.altn.com identifies Altn's FTP server. And mail.altn.com specifies Altn's mail server. DNS, or the Domain Name System, stores information about domain names, including IP addresses and subdomain names of specific machines. This information enables people to use computers to communicate on the Internet. The A and MX records are part of the DNS information. A records, or address records, associate a domain name with an IP address. For example, the A record for altn.com associates the IP address 65.240.66.160 to altn.com. Subdomains such as c3po.altn.com and sf.altn.com also have A records associating the subdomain names with IP addresses. MX records, or mail exchange records, show how email to a domain should be routed. The MX record for a domain can show multiple machines and therefore multiple delivery options for one email domain. MX records have preference listings. Mail servers will try and deliver mail to the MX server with the lowest preference number. In this example, an email server trying to deliver a message to altn.com would first try connecting to c3po.altn.com. If the delivering server encounters problems connecting to c3po.altn.com, it would then try to deliver the message to the next server in order of preference, which would be sf.altn.com. With this brief background information, you may now be better able to understand the A and MX record options. While the default options for the A and MX records work well for most applications, you may have a requirement to change these options. MDaemon has 5 toggle options for configuring DNS processing. First, you can enable MDaemon to query DNS for MX records when attempting to deliver mail. Second, when an MX record specifies multiple SMTP hosts, you can have MDaemon use the next host in the list if the connection to the current host fails or returns an error. Third, you can attempt to deliver mail to A record addresses listed inside of MX records. This can save an additional DNS query of the A record of the domain name listed in the MX record, helping to save processing time and bandwidth. Fourth, you can immediately return mail if the DNS server says the A record for the domain does not exist. And finally, if an MX query returns a 500 series fatal error, you can have MDaemon stop trying to deliver the message altogether. When you're finished configuring the DNS options, use the OK button to complete the configuration. Thank you for viewing this tutorial. More are available on the Altn website at www.altn.com. You can find them in the training section.